Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Friday, September the 11th. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you to KC Securities for your sponsorship of Special Report at 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. each day. Okay. Good morning, Dan. How was your night last night?
It was good. I was off from patrol, so it was nice. A nice another. It was a little bit frosty last night, though.
Yes. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So there was a frost advisory. Now, originally, I thought it was only going to be in northern parts and points north of our region, but we ended up having one for Sault Ste. Marie as well and surrounding areas. So there was patchy frost. Depending on where you were, you might have seen that on your car. It was a good idea. We posted.
My car was covered in moisture this morning.
Right.
But
Same with mine. It was no frost.
So it was a little warm when I got there. So
yeah. So that it would cover your plants up. It's probably a good idea on these cooler nights to start doing that. It was. I made sure to post that yesterday evening to let everybody know once Environment Canada issued it. So today, though, we're going to see a nice day. So that's the payoff.
Yeah. It went down to actually 2 degrees last night.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
And I've got the winter tires on our security SUV already. And you know what? I know people are laughing at me, but it's 2020.
Yeah.
When we have a snowstorm at the beginning of October, then you can laugh at me all you want.
Yeah. Those of you on air can't hear this, but our producer's complaining in the back about someone
He's still wearing
snow
shorts.
Tires. Yeah, he's still wearing shorts. He's holding out. He's holding out hope back there in the production. We're not holding up hope. We've just accepted it. We've accepted it, and we're ready for winter.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's coming.
8 months of winter? That's fine. We can survive.
Yeah, we'll be good.
We won't be doing any outdoor shows, but we'll survive.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday, big fire. Mm-hmm. That would be the story for you.
Oh yes. Sorry, that was me. You just finished saying, okay, for people who don't know this, before we went to air, Chris is like, okay, I don't know if I'm ready yet. It's just one of those days. Well, apparently Daniel's not ready. So, okay, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, that was the cue for Mike to pull up the visuals in the back as well.
Yes, exactly.
It's Friday, guys.
It's Friday.
Yeah,
it's a short week again. All right, so Sault Ste. Marie Fire responded to a residential fire. The cause of a fire at a residence on Grandview Avenue is under investigation. Crews were called to a home around 11 a.m. yesterday. The blaze had already been extinguished before firefighters arrived, so they simply ventilated the residence and called Enbridge Gas. While there's some smoke damage to the home, there are no reports of injuries. So at least that's good. There's no injuries, and hopefully it's not too much damage either.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a few fires lately, but a lot of them from lightning hitting houses and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, there was that one.
Yeah. So. Today marks the anniversary of September the 11th, 2001, when Osama bin Laden's terrorist group Al-Qaeda attacked the Twin Towers in New York. They also flew a plane into the Pentagon, and another plane also crashed in Pennsylvania. Obviously, this year, because of COVID-19, things are a little different. However, there will still be several ceremonies. Mike Pence will be doing 2 different ceremonies in New York, and both Joe Biden and Donald Trump will be doing ceremonies at where the plane went down in rural Pennsylvania. That was the one where some passengers were able to actually be able to take control of the plane
and
stop it from hitting where it was supposed to go. They're not sure exactly where that one was planned, but it was most likely either the White House or the Pentagon. But there were some very brave Americans on that plane who prevented that from happening. The 9/11, I don't know, for those of you that haven't been there, in the actual spot where it happened, the actual base of where the Twin Tower was is actually a big, they call it a pool. And it's on your screen right there, and it's a waterfall that goes around the outside and down into the bottom.
Okay.
And then there's also the 9/11 museum that's right there as well. You can see that in your photo actually there. They are going to be reopening the 9/11 museum, but very limited. At first, it will only be open to people who lost family members in the 9/11 tragedy, and then as they're able to safely reopen the 9/11 museum, they will then make it available to everyone. But for the time being, the 9/11 museum will just be open to the families of people who passed away in that horrific terrorist attack. And actually, one of my ex-girlfriends in Miami, her brother worked in an office tower right next to the World Trade Center.
Wow.
And his office ended up becoming an actual morgue at one point because they had no place to put bodies.
It's hard to believe it's already been almost 20 years.
Yeah, it's 19 years.
19 years today.
Years.
And before we were talking and before the show as well, with producer Mike, just remembering where you were kind of on that day. Everybody kind of remembers that day. Right?
I was in a class that started at 8 a.m. It was an automotive history class. Mm-hmm. It was a 3-hour class, so we got a break halfway through. So we got out about 9:15. We came out, and the world was completely different. Mm-hmm. We walked out of the class, went to the cafeteria, and everybody was just standing around looking at all the televisions. And I mean, like,
trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, because I mean, and at that point, both planes had already hit. Plane already hit the Pentagon, and very shortly after that, they canceled classes and sent everyone home for the day across the entire university. I was at University of Western Ontario at that point in time, and they sent all 25,000 students home because they didn't know what else was going to happen.
That's the thing.
Was it just going to be an attack in America? Was there anything that's going to happen in Canada? Was there going to be stuff happening elsewhere? Because Al-Qaeda had in other areas of the world, they've attacked and done terrorist attacks too. So they didn't know how coordinated and how wide this terrorist attack was going to be. But so our hearts and prayers go out to the families of the 9/11 victims and friends and so on, and everyone who's affected by that. So
absolutely,
it's a sad anniversary, but it's also something we need to remember as well, because it was a pivotal day in American and world history, for that matter. That's reshaped the globe in terms of going after Al-Qaeda. Eventually they got bin Laden. They've dismantled part of Al-Qaeda, but then it bounces back. And it's we'll never be rid of terrorism, but we can at least prevent.
That's right.
We don't even know what has been prevented either by that we never hear about. We saw this because it happened, but how many terrorist attacks have actually been thwarted because of
that we don't know about?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Stolen side-by-side last night.
Yes. OPP are hoping that you can help them find a stolen recreational vehicle. 2017 Polaris Ranger XP 900 was stolen sometime between August 23rd and September 5th from a property on Mashagama Lake off Ranger Lake Road. The side-by-side is camo color with a black roof. So if you have any information on that, you can call OPP or Crime Stoppers, and it will hopefully help find that stolen ATV. So
yes, and yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled against a local builder. The Points Protection Association, which is mainly made up of residents who live on Pointways Drive, there was a proposed subdivision out there. They obviously opposed it. However, it was first approved by the Sault Ste. Marie Region Conservation Authority in 2012. It was controversial. It was very heated, and apparently the debate at the City Council was long, and then eventually the City Council rejected it. Developers then appealed the decision to the Ontario Municipal Board, and they lost. So what they did after the OMB was they sued the PPA, which was the environmentalist group, for $6 million in damages. However, this is known as a strategic lawsuit against public participation, or a SLAP. And a SLAP is basically something you put on someone because they probably don't have the money to defend against it. So the Supreme Court ruled against them, and so the PPA, the Point Protection Association, won the lawsuit, so they don't have to pay the damages. But this is the first time the Supreme Court has had to deal with the Ontario SLAP law, because the SLAP law is actually an Ontario law. And it's the first time that this has ever made it to the Supreme Court of Canada. So the local environmentalist association won that court case against the developers. So what do we got going on for weather?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, it was frosty last night, and there was also some patchy fog. So we're going to bring up our camera right now, which is sponsored by wirelesscom.ca. Check their website out. They got all kinds of telecommunication services. And we're looking at City Hall there. Mike said this morning, once that's completely done, we won't be able to have that on camera. It'll be too bright. It's like the White House.
Really?
So it's going to be...
Because it's all glass?
Although it's going to be all white, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll all reflect too with the windows. But yes, the sun is out now. We are going to see a nice day today, a sunny day above seasonal. So we will get a reward for that frost overnight. I'll have those details, your 3-day weather, regional temperatures, and all of that coming up after the break. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For all those times.
Every 3 seconds, someone will develop Alzheimer's, a fatal disease that steals your memories and makes you forget the people you love most. Fortunately, there is hope. Today, researchers believe a cure is just a few years away.
It's okay, Daddy, you can go. Just go.
For just $9 a month, you can fund research for a cure and make history by ending this disease.
A message from the Government of Canada.
It's been a while since I've seen Joe. We were a couple of pranksters, and Joe was always full of surprises. But today, he's the one in for a surprise.
The thing is, Joe doesn't live here anymore. For people living with dementia, getting lost can happen unexpectedly. Are you ready to help? Help people living with dementia live safely in our communities. Contact your local Alzheimer's Society and visit findingyourwayontario.ca.
And welcome back to Special Report for Friday, September the 11th. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you to Casey Securities for your sponsorship. Now, Doug Ford normally has a press conference around 1 o'clock every day. Today it's a little bit different. So today, Doug Ford's press conference will be at 10:30 a.m. We will carry it live for you here on TV. With him today will be, just like yesterday, Greg Rickford, who's the Minister of Energy, Northern Development and Mines, and also the Minister of Indigenous Affairs. And also John Yababuski, he's the Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry, and they're going to be participating in a groundbreaking ceremony at a gold project in Gogama, Ontario. So we will carry that live for you at 10:30 a.m. this morning, so make sure you come back and join us for that. But now it's time to go over to weather. Daniel, what's going on, buddy?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to Mark Beauchamp. Actually just said good morning on our Facebook feed as we were switching over, and good morning to my mom as well, who's watching. I want to take a quick minute before we do the weather to remind everybody. I always remind you to go to SiouxOnline.com to read our stories, but if you go on the home page, there's also an event calendar to your left side which tells you everything that's going on in our city throughout the each day. A lot of it's virtual, obviously, right now, but you can always check it out. It's always updated. We make sure that we do a good job with updating that. And I want to just make a quick mention of the Women in Crisis walk that is coming up here. You got to register before September 18th. It's virtual this year. Superior Media on TV is the media sponsor of it. So you can find all the information if you go to SiouxOnline.com there, and it'll tell you how. You have to take a selfie, and you got to post on their Facebook page and all this stuff. And all the information's there for that. And as well, you'll be reminded that there's an Arch Draw for the Arch Hospice coming up again this month, so you can buy your tickets for that as well, and something for Alzheimer's as well. So that's all there for you. Check that out. Okay, so now that's out of the way, we'll check our radar rather, and look at this. high pressure. We don't have any rain for once today, so it is going to be nice. Your reward for that frost overnight, other than what's going on down here in the US, we don't have anything. This is all high pressure over here right now. However, that is going to, you can't see it right now because it's not on the screen yet, but we are going to see a system move in Saturday. So things are going to change up. So we got to enjoy today because today is the nice day. And as you'll see here on our expected highs for a region, they are above normal. 21 degrees in Thunder Bay, 15 in Wawa, 19 in Timmins, 20 in Sault Ste. Marie, 18 in Elliott Lake, and 19 in Sudbury. So it is a good day if you do want to still have your shorts on or t-shirt and get out there and enjoy it. But by the evening, make sure you have your sweater because things will drop again to single digits. 9 degrees in Thunder Bay, 8 in Wawa, 7 in Timmins, 8 here in Sault Ste. Marie, back to 7 in Elliott Lake, and then a 5-degree night in Sudbury. So currently we are sitting at 6 out there. The sun is coming out. Fog will dissipate and burn off. We are going to see a high of 20 today, UV index of 6, and then we will get down to a low of 8 with a few clouds overnight. Wind's not really a factor today, 8 kilometers southwest, and obviously Humidex 2 is pretty much the same as the temperature, so really no issues there. Now, things do change on Saturday though. Things will become cloudy in the morning and then periods of rain will begin. 17 degrees is your high. Winds will become southeast 20 kilometers in the afternoon, picking up, and then overnight we will just see continuing rain with a low of 12. Sunday, 18 degrees. We will see periods of rain as well all day. And then overnight on Sunday, it's going to get a little bit windy and it's going to clear out as the wind pushes that through. As you can see on Monday, that will be another sunny day coming up, 16 degrees, and then a low of 8 on Monday. So that's what's coming up over the next 3 days. We have a nice day today, so enjoy that. The weekend will be a bit of a mess, and then on Monday when you go back to work, it'll be nice again. So unfortunately, that's just the way it is at this time of year. I'll have your 7-day weather watcher coming up later on in the show, but Chris and I will be back after this break with more local news, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
welcome back to the Special Report for Friday, September the 11th, brought to you by KC Securities. Thank you very much for joining us today. Okay, I got a couple Facebook shout-outs. So good morning to Juliana, Mark, and Carolyn. Thank you very much for reaching out on our comments on our Facebook Live video. If you want to interact with us when we're live on the air, you can just go to the Sioux Online Facebook page and click on the video, and you can watch the show through Facebook, and you can also comment on the side of the screen as well. That's the only way you can actually reach us while we're live on the air. All the other ways we don't see till after the show. So that's how you can tell us about birthdays, anniversaries, any of that sort of stuff as well. Okay, every year there's the Bridge Walk. That happens here, between here and Sioux, Michigan. This year it's being a virtual bridge walk. You're going to see up on your screen there a little bit of the what people normally do. Obviously, because of COVID-19, you're not able to do the bridge walk this year, but hopefully it'll be back again for next year. But for this year, it's a virtual bridge walk. We also have a 15-minute documentary on it. They'll be playing throughout today, so you'll be able to come back and check that out. Also, we will be on at 10:30 this morning with Doug Ford's press conference. Normally he's on at 1 o'clock. Today it's on at 10:30, so you can either watch it with us at 10:30, and we'll also put it back on again at 1 o'clock, the normal time that we normally carry Doug Ford's press conference each day. But yeah, and then speaking of Doug Ford, him and Francois Legault, who is the Premier of Quebec, had their economic summit. And obviously, there are some concerns that they have. They were given some one-time transfers to help with extra healthcare costs because of COVID-19. Approximately $10 billion was provided by the federal government across Canada for extra, buying extra masks, extra personal protective equipment, things like that. However, that has only covered their expenses up to this point. Until COVID-19 has passed, they still need extra money for all this extra personal protective equipment so they can also continue to offer the same services, the same amount of people able to have cancer care and so on, so they don't have to divert funding from those things to pay for the extra personal protective equipment. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has agreed to do a virtual summit about the healthcare transfers with each of the premiers, and hopefully something will come out of that. Both Legault and Ford would like to see some sort of ongoing funding until we have a vaccine or COVID-19 we have other ways of managing it. Because obviously the expenses are still there. Nothing has changed between 2 months ago and now. So there needs to be some sort of ongoing funding from the federal government as well to help during this, obviously, extremely difficult time for people who work in healthcare and long-term care homes, retirement homes, and so on. There's so many increased expenses at this time. So,
absolutely, with all the PPE and stuff like that.
But on to some more exciting news.
Well, the Toronto Raptors will play a Game 7 tonight.
Game 7. They always like to take it down to the wire.
Always, yeah. So let's see if they can pull off the comeback. They were down 3-2 in the series. They will play the Celtics tonight for Game 7. And if they lose this one, they are out, and it will be a new champion this year. But if they do pull off the win, they will continue on and getting closer to the finals there in the NBA as well. So they are playing tonight. And then Dallas Stars won last night 3-2 versus the Vegas Golden Knights. They are now leading their series 2-1. Dallas, I can't remember when Dallas was last in the playoffs. I mean, we got a lot of different teams.
Every time I hear the Stars, I think Minnesota, but they've been Dallas for like 20 years now, and I still think Minnesota Stars.
So it's changed up.
Yeah, Jays plays tonight against the Mets as well, if you're a baseball fan. So we'll be right back after the break with 7-Day Forecast.
Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
It's easier to say nothing than blend in. But I need to speak up for what I know is right. I have a voice. I can lead the way. I will be a light in my community.
And welcome back to Special Report on Friday, September the 11th, just after 8:26. Good morning to everyone. Thank you to our sponsors as well, wirelesscom.ca for our camera, Northern Lights Detailing for the weather, and KC Security for the show. So we're going to get into the 7-day forecast, and Northern Lights is located, by the way, at 632 Great Northern Road. They don't cut corners, they clean them. You can also call them at 575-1600 if you want to book an appointment. So we're going to see some rain on Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the high teens. The sun is back on Monday though, nice comfortable day, 16 degrees. Wednesday we'll see overcast, but 21 degrees. It'll be a little bit on the warmer side. And then by Friday we're back down to 14 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud after some rain on Thursday. And then your overnight lows are dipping down to 7 on Sunday, up to 12 on Wednesday, and then back down to 8 on Friday. So they're kind of all over the place still. We probably will have some changes to that throughout the week, and maybe some frost warnings again. It's just the way it's going. So enjoy the daytime though. And and the weather watcher. I almost forgot the weather watcher before I go back to Chris. The waves here at Sawpit Bay. Again, this was from the storm last week on the weekend, and look at the waves there. Wow, that was on the windy days. So thank you very much to Paul Conway for sending that in. And that is a good shot of the wave hitting there. We get some really good waves on Lake Superior. Yeah, so, and the email to send the photos and videos for weather are ontvweather@gmail.com and include your name and location. So there we go.
Yeah. Well, it looks like this weekend's going to be full of rain, but the good news is NFL started back up, so there'll be a bunch of NFL games on Sunday. Yeah. College football is back up as well, so you can watch that on Saturday, and we'll see if you can watch the Raptors, depending on what happens tonight.
Right.
And then also, you got hockey going on still.
So all the sports are kicking.
At least there's all kinds of sports to watch now when you're stuck inside for a rainy weekend.
That's right.
Which is welcome to fall in Canada, where it rains all the time. Too bad it's not raining though in the western U.S. California and Oregon have massive wildfires going on. It set an annual record for the amount of area burned already. Obviously wow, look at that. I mean, that looks like something out of that's San Francisco. Wow. That's there's the San Francisco Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. And look at that. And that's a daytime photo, by the way, folks. That is not a nighttime photo. Yeah. And people are saying it's like something out of dystopian films like Blade Runner and things like that.
Yeah, that's even made its way to BC. I have friends and family in BC still in Vancouver Island, and it's
it's thick smoke and ash that's just blotting out the sky across California and Oregon. And Labor Day didn't help. They set a record temperature during Labor Day. They tried to do some blackouts to try and slow the fires, but that didn't work either. But hopefully they will get that under control shortly, because it's a record this year for the amount of forest burned already, and the fires haven't stopped.
That's right.
So.
Still going.
But we will be back here at 10:30 a.m. this morning with Doug Ford's press conference. Please come back and check us out then. Have a fantastic morning.
Take care.